racist because we don't want bomb factories sprouting up in the house next door. They call us bigots because we don't want the problems associated with Islam in the Middle East to be played out in our country. They don't see the harm and damage being done to Europe and Greece and Malta and all these other countries which are being inundated right now. How many more events like the one in San Bernardino, the one in Boston, the one in Fort Hood, and 9/11 do we need before we get real? How many Holocausts and Holodomor do we need before we realize that tyranny is all the same, all evil? Instead of blaming the ones that are responsible, like ISIS and terrorists, our White House blamed the NRA. They blamed people like you and I because we're evil white people. I see all kinds of different faces here today. It doesn't matter what race we are. It doesn't matter what religion we are. All that matters is that we're good Americans, and we're all here together, and we're all willing to fight for the freedom that this country has given us.
In Allentown, Pennsylvania, not that far from us on the east, I work with a group of Republicans and Democrats and Libertarians and Green Party people who are unified in believing and working for our Constitution and working against government corruption. Why do we have a problem with refugees? We don't. We have a problem with people who are being brought here as if they were refugees, who are unvetted.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, of course, government corruption does include government incompetence, but that's not the reason why these people are coming in unvetted. 2 years of vetting by the United Nations High Commissioner on Refugees is not vetting. The FBI director says you can't vet them. There are no databases. A percentage of them is guaranteed to be ISIS.
Yes.
Yes. They've said so. They've proven it in Paris and in other places. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Why should we pay for that?
Nazis.
Pay for us first.
Nazis were socialists.
Yes.
Communists are no different.
Yes.
Yes.
Islam is no different.
That's right. Preach it.
Right.
Because when it comes down to it, you either do it their way or you die.
Yes.
Yes.
We do not believe in that. In America, I don't hate those people. I don't want to see them silenced. Although I wouldn't mind if they'd cool it a little bit. But what I do want is for them to stop being foolish and stop just accepting what the government tells them.
Yes. Yes.
And stop thinking that by bringing in unvetted, undocumented refugees, by allowing in illegal aliens, we're somehow being compassionate. You want to help Mexico be free and strong instead of corrupt and under the thumb of drug pushers.
Yes.
We don't have the capacity to take in every single person from every bad place where things are happening. When someone is starving somewhere, we don't bring them here, we send food.
Yes.
A refugee is someone who is in fear of persecution for their beliefs.
That's right.
That means translators who worked with our military in Iraq and Afghanistan, who are being denied entry to this country, are in danger for their belief. Why aren't they letting them in? And the Islamic Empire only ended 100 years ago, less than 100 years ago, when Kemal Ataturk in Turkey ended the Ottoman Empire. That was then. Less than 100 years ago. Just a few years later, the Islamic Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt started a campaign to bring violent jihad back.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
And they've been planning it and executing it with precision ever since.
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
The vast majority of Muslims are probably peaceful people, but they believe in Sharia law.
Yep.
Yes.
Sharia law which condemns you to death.
Killer.
Death if you disobey any of their commandments. Saudi Arabia is executing a record number of people for religious crimes. You want religious freedom? Go to an Islamic country and tell me if they will lock you up for having a Bible.
You got it.
Yes.
If they will
Just
kill
like the
you
communists.
for establishing a church.
Yes.